In good global governance, institutions matter. Institutions that are robust, independent, accountable and transparent. We don't live in a world anymore that national laws can really govern everything. What is legally good and bad in a world like this? My name is Elaine Fahey. I'm a professor of law at City Law School, and I work on the relationship between EU law and global governance. It is quite striking that the EU in its treaties literally strives to be good. Maybe in Brexit Britain, the idea to get away from EU law has been popular or common, but in lots of parts of the world, the idea of high regulatory standards have been adopted in so many places. A really good example of how EU law affects all of our lives, not just in Europe, is the GDPR, a regulatory bureaucracy that enforces your rights, that supports you as an individual, that businesses can adopt as part of the systems. And that's the whole point of having European laws, that they arguably are the things that are beyond borders. It's not helpful just to speak about national privacy law in a global world where we're using Zoom or Teams, putting things on the internet, selling things. We're all affected increasingly by our digital presence, our digital environment. So having a transnational regulatory standard is increasingly more important. Everyone's lives have been hugely affected by choices made by Google or Facebook. Some of the biggest social media in the world are US companies. All of the data being transferred to the US can be under surveillance by a foreign government. What laws are you governed by? Whose taxes am I paying when I pay tax? And as a consumer, what apps do I need to change on my phone? What privacy settings? Those are not really good enough. We have to make sure that consumers are not overwhelmed by information boxes they have to tick in a way in which they know where things are happening and what to do when things are wrong. That is a very important part of my research and is the agenda that I want to set and have set for the last number of years. I'm a dual EU-US citizen, I'm an Irish American, and it's been very part of my life always to try to understand the transatlantic. Working and living in somewhere like London, there is a certain attractiveness to realising that the world is a very, very big place and that it's important to be a champion of that. And I've been really fortunate to have the opportunity to speak to many parliamentary committees, from the House of Commons to the House of Lords, and also increasingly with the US, contributing to that discussion of what global governance should look like. I am a Funda Jean Monnet Chair of Law and Transatlantic Relations since 2019 to teach lots of students about these kind of profound questions as to what should the future digital trade look like in a world of digitalization. How can we train lawyers to have the skills to deal with all this? It's a very vibrant, very lively place, and I'm very fortunate to be part of that. There's never been a more important time to study international relations and to use your voice to advocate for the interests of others. I do so independently, without fear, and we can never stop that search for better institutions.